Hello, welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We are taking on a Athus team here, and I'm just gonna play this one. I don't know. I think I'll playing it safe, since this is pretty much a straightforward. Actually, I think it probably would have been better off if I used the double safe team. That would definitely have been safe. But then also, I don't think I have anyone on that team that could actually take out Neathauger here. So. There's that. So yeah, this team had to be the one, since Sita here, and Sita can really, fill that role pretty well. Really, I'm going to be calculating here Sigurd's range, and then I have to coordinate around that, making sure that no one really gets hit by Felix, who's going to be the follow-up unit. I have to ensure that Sita is covering everyone. Even though she's not a far save, I gotta make sure that she's in range of both Felix and Sigurd, who are the two main melee threats. And I gotta make sure, I said far save, I meant near save. I gotta make sure that Sita is covering all of my squishy units, including Neathauger, who is able to take out Felix. But the problem is, I don't want to bank on her doing that while being at 1 HP, because she's going to be in a spot where she's more than likely going to eat some of the AoE damage from Sigurd. So, yeah, this is a little bit tricky, but I think it should be doable if I plan right. And then from there on in, we should be goated in terms of just being able to clear this map, because no one here is going to be able to take out Neathauger and Sita, which I find is a really, really strong partnership. Aside from in SD, where I prefer to partner her with Fjorm, because I need somewhere to use my Fjorm. I'm not going to just bench her. She's really good. She has no Sita scrub. The only problem is she needs to win the speed check, and because of that, I have to bring Sedith. So those are like 3 spots immediately locked in for that SD team. And then the rest of the slots are like figuring out who to partner that team with. I've been going with Ninja Lucina lately, well, for a while now, but it's starting to not pay dividends in the way that I would like. She's really there to give action economy as well as the debuffs. Those 2 things are great, as well as a null follow-up, but Fjorm doesn't need null follow-up, and then my Sita is running null follow-up as well in her C skill, so doesn't need no follow-up from the swap either, so I'm not getting a ton there. So I don't know, that is a spot that I could probably swap out Lucina for someone else, so I don't know. And then I have a final slot, which, I mean, I'm having trouble picking 1 extra unit. I'm not getting to 2 just yet. I'm having trouble. Originally Felix was on that team, but Felix is just, there's so much barricade and ward blocking that it's kind of hard to get him to go to exactly where I need him to go to, like sneak around the back and like take out problematic units. It's kind of hard to do that. And then typically one of my biggest problems with that playstyle was that Felix typically died. Well, when the team first was being used, Felix wouldn't die, but now Felix dies to pretty much everything. He's no longer able to survive a lot of combat, so you don't get that second action a lot of the times now when you're using Felix on your team. He is a good check because he forces the opponent to play a little bit slower, but I don't like him in SD anymore, or at least on the team that Sita is on. I tried putting Sigurd there, but there's too many blue units, I felt. You got Sita, you got Sedith, Sigurd, too many blue units, so I kind of wanted to mix it up just a little bit, even though blue is really, really strong right now. Like, I feel like the best partner would have been Ike, Desert Ike. The problem is I'd be depending on Sita to do all of the damage, since Desert Ike doesn't really KO things in player phase. He has a great enemy phase, but he's not a very good player phase unit, especially in SD. In Aether Raids you can get it to work, but in SD, not that great. So I'm currently still trying to figure out who to fill in that final slot. I've tried Malice, but she runs into the problem where she just goes out and then gets KO'd, since I didn't know that Brutal Tempest was going to be a thing, and that's really what she wanted. So it kind of makes it inconsistent. Granted, I do get the Canto 2 from the swap from Lucina, so that's a positive, but it's not exactly what I'm looking for. And sometimes she fails to kill as well, so I don't know, man. It's kind of tough. I tried putting a Lear there, but I want someone a little bit more player phasey to take out things that Sita can't, because lately she's just been dying to like green units. So there's been a influx of green units that can take out Sita, melee calves at that as well. You got Marissa and you got Xander with his refine can do it as well, especially if he has no quarter. If it's not no quarter, then maybe she can get away with it, but if it's no quarter, she's definitely dead. And then now this new Edelgard, this Valentine's version stomps on Sita, so no good. So yeah, I need someone to cover those weaknesses that Sita has, and I haven't found that unit that does that yet. So I'm still playing around with, you know, who to put there. Maybe even I should just go with a range unit that inflicts penalties to kind of help me out with stat swings or cleanse my penalties. Maybe Micaiah would be great there. I don't know. Yeah, just some thoughts that I'm having. And I'm also seeing a ton of Rhea, which is expected. I think that alt is definitely one of the alts that they've gotten right, IS. She's very powerful, very good for melee tanking, and I don't know, man, she's gonna be everywhere in the next SD, so let's see how that pans out. Sigurd is definitely done, at least. I think Sigurd is done. Well, again, there's banning, so you can ban whatever you don't like. I'd probably let through the Neathhoggers at this point, then have to deal with Rhea. But yeah, I think I'm done with my setup here. That's enough SD talk for this video. You're gonna get to see some fireworks. I've pretty much calced out, was it calced? I've calculated the ranges. Why did I put on that nerd voice? That's so stupid. Anyways, everyone should intersect here, or at least the melee units that can get that cover the most ground should be attacking from here, and Sita will body them without a ton of healing as well, because I don't have Hathrun here, or any form of Hathruns here. That's a lot of damage from Sigurd. Typically it's not that much, but you know, he is getting a ton of support. DR having as well from Neathhogger, so that plays into it. But as you can see, Sita still just that good, with the right support, of course, which is what that whole SD talk was about, trying to find the right support for Sita so that she can function to the best ability, to her fullest potential. So for here on, we should be GG's. Just gonna make sure that I don't mess up and do anything dumb. Getting the pots is gonna be a challenge to some extent, but the armors are gonna be in the back since they don't have a way to get down and smack me in the face. So I only gotta really worry about the range units and Freyr. So let's get into what else we got going on. What do I got? I think we're getting another banner next week. I don't know what that's gonna be, but that is on the cards. Don't really have orbs to pull on that, because I also want to see if I can get some Verge of Death fodder, but really what I want to do is pull for Ivy, so I can get Ivy's my factory for Verge of Death, so that would be great. But I don't really want to pull on the whatever that banner is called, the one with Ivy and Emblem Marth. I don't really want to pull on it, but that's the banner that she's on, so I might as well. And then I don't know. I'm saving up my tickets for the special heroes banner, the ones that we're getting for free. So I got like a bunch of those I can rip at any time. I think I'm really going for like Pirate Hinoka. Hopefully I get a couple copies of those, and maybe a merge for my dual peony, because I would like to just have the +1. I think it's nice. This is one of the downsides of this team. Neathhogger sometimes isn't transformed since I don't have another beast unit on the team. It really boils down to being careful with her positioning, since you can't really have her surrounded by so many infantry units or units that aren't beasts or dragons. But it's unavoidable sometimes, and I just got to deal with it. Luckily, she's just as tanky whether she can counterattack or not, so There you go. Got to take out this old man now, who I'm pretty sure everyone realizes or is becoming aware of how tanky he is. Typically, he is surviving the first hit, and then the second hit, especially if you're able to get your special off, is where you're doing the majority of the damage. But yeah, he's really just a lot tankier than I expected, and I'm expecting to see a ton of him in SD as well. I think he'll perform really well there. I think it's like, just looking at it from what I've seen so far, if you get debuffs on him, he becomes a monster. And I think that's his A skill, if I'm not mistaken, that's working in his favor in that regards. Yeah, just making him really, really bulky. But I don't know. We'll see how it pans out, what comes up on the next banner in terms of, you know, being able to deal with him. Yeah, I don't know, man. He's just tough to deal with. I watched so many videos today of just people summoning on the Valentine's banner. A lot of people were able to get what they wanted. One copy of Edelgard at the very least. Edelgard seems to be very popular. I'm expecting to see her pretty much everywhere, kind of the same with what we saw with Winter Edelgard. I'm pretty much expecting the same with this Valentine's version. So yeah, there's that. Not the greatest fan of her, but I mean,
what can I do?
It is what it is. Dimitri, I made a team with Claude, Dimitri, yeah, Claude and Dimitri, and I'm really looking forward to using Claude on that team. I'm just looking forward to being able to get that extra action. I've been really just searching for someone that can do what Golvig does, Summer Golvig, or at least even Brave Golvig, who will be getting the refine this year. Crazy. Don't know what they'll do with her. Hopefully at least some damage reduction. DR having at least. I don't think they'll give her any more DR since she already has so much. She really needed piercing. That's the one thing that she needed. Her B skill won't be changed, so we're just looking at her weapon, and her weapon already did so much. She does a lot of true damage, so they'll probably add more ways for her to get damage, but what she really needs is being able to have DR. That's what she really needs. It's what Brave Byleth needed as well, female, but they didn't give that to her, so let's see what they do. Maybe that's why they put Frost Moon in the game, but I don't like the fact that it's on this old man that I am not able to get another copy of. But I think
one more can't hurt.
Golvig, anyone with a Golvig, well, some of them have perf specials, so Brave Golvig would do pretty well with Frost Moon, so maybe they don't give her DR having because of that, but hopefully they don't chalk it up to that. Let's see what they do. I'm really interested to see what the refines are going to be like for this bat. I mean, Corrin is pretty obvious. Speed, she definitely needs more of that. But aside from that, there's so many skills that you can give her. B skills, A skills. Well, maybe not A skills, but B and C skills that you can give her to make her better, because she's a speedy armor, so there's always going to be skills available. But what she really needs is just more speed, and I think they'll definitely give that to her with the refine. So, and then Soren is probably going to be the most interesting one. I think he's definitely going to be able to hit harder at the very least. That's his biggest problem, not being able to contribute to combat himself, which is kind of unfortunate given the fact that he can quad so easily and he has a relatively high attack stat for a green mage. But then I noticed like a lot of the green mages that we've gotten are like all copy paste the same high attack, high res. You rarely get fast green mages that can actually do stuff. None come to mind currently. Fast green mage that can do damage.
As you say.
I'm blank. Like nothing comes to mind. They're typically all in the vein of Nurgle, Citrine,
What shall we do?
Sonya, and I recently found out that Lilina, Rearm Lilina, isn't as bad as you think she is if you get rid of her gifted magic. If you run her with like Astra or even Frost, ooh, if you run her with Frost, man,
I'll pay them a visit.
I don't want to go back on that legendary banner. I'm kind of,
Count on me.
but there's no other way that I'm gonna get that on.
Of course.
But yeah, if you run her with Frost Moon, she does a ton of damage. Her special animation is actually also really fire. It's really nice. But yeah, Rearm Lilina isn't bad. Just get rid of gifted magic. It's actually garbage. And then Sonya as well. All of them are like the same archetype of unit, but different stat distributions, maybe different effects in like Nurgle in specific. But personally for me, I've kind of ended up with Sonya since that's the one that I've been merging so far, and I think she's the prettiest one out of all of them. GG's.